about to start Morning Glories. Morning Glories. I don't know why I cannot say that. Morning Glories. These are called Grandpa Otts. I'm literally just going to throw some of this, I think it's called Light Warrior seed starter fertilizer, soil, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to put it in this. What I plan on doing is I want this to grow in this baby pot, and I'm going to move it because Morning Glories, this can trail up a trellis. So I'm going to, I should have totally grabbed some water. I'm going to grow it in this, and then once it's big enough, needs to come out of here, I'm going to put it in a bigger pot, and then probably make it out of bamboo or something, put a trellis behind it and let it climb up, and it's going out front. So I need to get water. Totally just gonna use the kids' watering can. This isn't the smartest thing to do now, is it? Oh! We should have done this beforehand. Let that go down. Today, good grief. There it goes. All right. Okay. Should have done that beforehand, totally did it. Yeah, so my goal is to just let this one grow in here. If it does grow, great. If it doesn't, lesson learned to like not do it so late. Okay, so it says 5-15 days to emerge. Seed depth is going to be 1/2 inch, which I use my finger every time. I go about like half of the tip of my finger down, which, by the way, if you saw in the first video, my thumb is okay. Okay, so it says a group of 3 seeds every 6-12 inches, but since this is one pot, I'm literally just gonna put 1, 2, and 3 and cover it up. Boom. Done. How easy. I hear like the weirdest noise. Oh, it's a squirrel. We get 1 squirrel every morning, same time every morning. It cracks me up. My kids will be like, oh, there he is. And he comes running along our fence over here and just runs up the tree so fast. Okay, that's done. Ruh-roh, this packet just got wet. It says soak seed in water for 12 to 14 hours. Or nick with sandpaper before sowing. I have never seen that before. I didn't do any of that. Oh well. Today I do want to plant, which I'm late on these as well. This packet's wet, so I gotta get these out of here. But how beautiful are those? Sunflowers. This one I did last spring. As you can tell, because the packet's pretty loved. It's a Save the Bees mix. It's really, really pretty. And my daughter planted, or she sowed these yesterday in a pot, and we literally just scattered them over top and just like scruffed it all up, and it was great. I mean, they were so pretty, so pretty. It's just an assortment of everything. I mean, this has borage, lemon queen, sunflower, coriander, wallflower, has dill, California poppy, annual gardenia, cut and come again zinnia, 5% less of sweet basil, cosmos, purple clover, catnip, lemon balm, black-eyed Susan, goldenrod, hyssop, and bergamot. It's a really pretty blend. I don't know if you can see it. Super pretty. I have no idea where I'm gonna put this either. Like last year we just did it in a pot. I do have an area for my sunflowers that I've planted sunflowers in, and then I have something that's continuously eating my baby seedlings. So that sucks. So we need to plant those. All right, let's do this. Okay, so this is the area where I had my sunflowers planted and one survived. I don't know if you can see back there. Let me sit this down. Where am I gonna sit this down? This is total Jess with Roots and Refuge right there. Stay. So I planted them. You see there's one right there. And it's doing actually pretty good, but I actually planted way more and they're gone. Yeah, there was some actually all right here. So I'm gonna put more in, which I know I'm really late on it, but I think it'd be cool just to see if anything will grow right here. That one actually looks pretty good. It's kind of leggy, but that's all right. All right. I'm not doing the Save the Bees mix over here, but I am gonna do these. Now, these are, want full sun, 5 to 8 feet tall, which my tomatoes are pretty much 8 feet tall. How cool would that be to like look over the fence and you see this massive sunflower, or just see a sunflower sticking up? 1/4 to 1/2 inch depth, 3 seeds together before your average less velocity. Oh yeah, we way past that. These are the same, I'm assuming, as well. Yep, all right. I also have no idea what variety that one is. We'll find out. And I'm totally not, what is that? I don't even know. I am not spacing these out as far. This probably like 10 inches. In my garden, I do a lot of experimenting. I think I just dropped one. So I feel like this isn't just me, but a lot of people started a garden last spring. And I feel like what was going on in the world definitely had a lot, if not all, to do with it. And that's honestly what started us. That's what started us, like, wanting to have a garden. Seeing the shelves of the stores empty was scary. For me, I know. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I homeschool. It's not easy. I'm using sticks to mark where I sowed the seed. I do this every time. So me seeing the shelves empty and my husband being the sole provider of our family, in my nature, I was raised to work. Like, you're not lazy, you're gonna work. And so I'm like, okay, well, I can't actually physically go to work. And then if I did go to work, what would I even do? Because everything's shut down, or shutting down. I couldn't do a work from home job because my babies are little, like they're little. And so I was like, crap, well, why not just grow some food? So the grocery store is empty, so that's kind of scary, and I don't want that to happen. And so I'm like, okay, this is gonna be my job. And so I had the tiniest, it was actually, I think it was the Mother's Day presents when we built it. It was around Mother's Day. And it was a raised bed that had a lid on it. And the lid was to block the squirrels from digging into it, because we have a lot of squirrels. Come to find out, like, I don't ever have any squirrel problems here. It was so tiny, and I crammed so much stuff in there. I crammed in like 4 tomato plants that were indeterminate, and then I crammed in herbs, and then I put a squash plant in there too, and I got the smallest harvest of anything, but it was a learning lesson, and I totally need to do it, and I'm thankful that I did it. I grew all those things, and I was making my own sauce, making my own salsa. I was using herbs for meals that I was making, whatever, and I'm like, this is really cool, and it's so satisfying to grow something and then be able to harvest the fruit from it and then eat it. I became addicted to it. And so that's what started everything going on, and I have totally seen God like in the garden, and I feel like my relationship with him is so much stronger, and it is so fulfilling and satisfying to me to see that if you just have one seed and you plant it and you grow it, one fruit will have like hundreds of more seeds inside of it. I mean, just like one of these tomatoes at minimum has like 50 seeds in it to grow 50 more plants, and that's just, I was in awe of it, and I just found it so amazing. And so that's what started everything. So I'm kind of thankful for everything happening the way it happened to get me to this point, you know, and bring me closer to the Lord. Okay, so they're in such a tight space. That's my hair. I'm gonna get some water, and we're gonna water it in. I don't want to keep spraying and then it like digs it up. Let it soak down a second. Just gonna do a little bit because it actually did just rain. Oh, look at that. The yellow pear. Isn't that pretty? Oh my gosh. What a beautiful color. Like the color of this contrasting with this. I love how these just like repel water. It reminds me of Tinkerbell. So pretty. So much fruit. Look at that. Guys, this is gonna blow my mind. That's one stem. And I counted it, and there's like, I think a little over 100 tomatoes on one stem. That's insane. Look at how luscious this parsley is. Actually, you know what? I think I'm gonna harvest it and dry it today. Don't know why this is here. So when I harvest my parsley, I actually, let me turn this a little bit. I come in, there is a dill seedling right there, and my dill's way over there. I come into the bottom of my parsley plant. This is an Italian dark parsley. I come into the bottom and I clip from the bottom. I do this because if you go to clip it and you have a long stem, say this is it, and you only cut off the top portion and leave this, you're channeling energy to flow through here when nothing's gonna come out the top, so it's a waste. So I come through and I go like this and grab the whole plant and snip. If I notice little baby ones coming out, I try not to cut those to let them grow. Boom, it's like a bouquet. a delicious bouquet. It smells so good. So I'm gonna leave this just like that. And there's already baby ones trying to grow at the bottom as well. Cut some of the ugly little ones off. Okay. Yep. Oh my gosh, that smells so good. Isn't it beautiful? There's that good old Florida humidity, y'all. Yep. So, I honestly don't know what I want to talk about in this video. I prayed about it. I'm just not entirely sure. Oh, hello. Have you come to eat my garden? I did find a ton of those little tiny baby caterpillars on one of my tomato plants this morning, and I actually just ended up pulling those leaves off because there was hundreds. The worms. I think they're cutworms. I'm not sure. I'm just super paranoid about getting the hornworms because I don't like them. Tomato hornworms actually are terrifying to me to look at. They are huge. And I remember last year coming out and I didn't have any on the plant that night, and I came out the next morning and it was like this one had just been sitting there waiting for me to come out, and they like buck up on you like, I'm eating your plant, what's up? I just don't want those this year, please Lord, no tomato hornworms. I'm taking extra precautions. I am spraying the plants. I'm spraying BT, looking every day, probably about 3 times a day. I love these quiet moments out here. So good. I like to just rest in it and sit in it. It's much needed. We've had a very crazy season of life the past 5 months. Ranged from death to being uprooted out of our house for a little while, and then family member was sick, and then back into our home, and then just all the things, so many things, and it was really overwhelming. But God. So I'm taking the time now for like moments like these of the quietness in the garden, and when it's just quiet outside, and trying to just absorb it and just to be still and to be quiet, which is hard for me. I'm trying to get into reading more. Now that I got new glasses, I feel like I could read books now. My previous glasses, I just couldn't. They were messing with my eyes. My eyes were overworked, and so these have helped me a lot, and I'm hoping to be reading more. But yeah. It's not all sunshine and rainbows, and that's okay, because it's really not meant to be. If we had a perfect life, then you wouldn't understand what it would be like to be grateful for the things that you have. I feel like you have to go through tough times to appreciate what you've been given, what you've been blessed with. Nobody wants to. I wouldn't wish it upon anyone. But sometimes it's necessary. Helps you grow and gives you wisdom. So that's my little spiel for today. Told you I wouldn't forget you.